Hello to my viewers. We are here once again to read chapter 9. Today is chapter 9. Welcome back to my channel and Bina Bakwaske. Let's start our reading challenge. So today's chapter is 9th and the heading is My Shadow Knows My Tears. It was a cold winter evening. The bus stand was silent, even though the distant barking of dogs echo faintly in the air. The tea shop were closing at midnight, and buses were unloading passengers to their destination. In the faint moonlight, I felt could be strangely relaxed. Anika had come back into my life, the love I had ever left. The mental pressure in my head and the pain in my heart seems to flow away like a quiet stream. I sat I sat at the bus stand, lost in thought, when Mathura began unzipping her bag. She handed me something, and in the dim light I couldn't make out what it was. Swiftly I turned on my phone torch. It was nutty packed. Carefully I started teasing off the cover, and to my surprise, it was a watch, my Titan Zoop watch. Oh man, this girl is doing so much for him, and ye bewkoof banda. The same one I had broken back in 2010 while playing. It had been glad back together peacefully, and the time was working fine. It was my favorite watch, the first gift my father had given me after I scored the first rank in 5th grade. It wasn't just a watch, it was an emotion, a memories of my father. Man, I couldn't handle this. I said, my voice trembling. You have kept this all these years. Mathura smiled faintly. Yeah, she replied, but she didn't seem well. Perhaps it made the stress of her hectic MBBS schedule. This watch tangible was the only tangible memories of my father I had left. And now it was working again, looking as good as new. As the bus of Hyderabad arrived, Mathura prepared to leave. She boarded the bus, but then suddenly ran back toward me. Her eyes glanced with unsaid tears, and her face carry a weight of unspoken word. I didn't ask her what happened. She came closer, stood on her toes, and kissed my forehead softly. Take care, she whispered before turning back to the bus. She didn't wave back. She didn't even look at me from the window as the bus pulled away, leaving me standing there in a cold night, catching the memory of my father and the bittersweet egg in her departure. I wake up in the morning to the sound of doorbell ringing. I rub my eyes and headed toward the door. When I opened it, it was Anika. I blinked twice and rubbed my eyes again. Was this dream? This kind of things had happened thrice in the past overnights. What happened? Anika asked with a smile, standing at me. This time it felt real. I had to believe properly. Yeah. What's up? Why are you here? I needed some curry leaf. I think you have some in your garden. Can you buckle down for me? I couldn't do it myself, she said. Yeah, sure. I went out, plucked a few branches from the curry plants, and handed them to her. Are you free this evening? Anika asked. Now you're asking? Interesting. Yeah, why? It's my parents' wedding anniversary. Could you help me with some decoration and a surprise, please? She said. Will do, I replied. Thank you. I called you tonight. Please join us, she said before leaving. Later in the day, I went to bakery and ordered a cake in advance. Then I visited a shop, packed out a beautiful status statue of Krishna and Radha, and got in packed carefully. That evening, the house was buzzing with excitement. Anika's parents, uncle and auntie were surprised when they walked into the room. Their face light up with astonishment as they took the decoration. They didn't remember it was their wedding anniversary. Perhaps year of life, hustle, and burst such mysterious. Anika, however, had remembered she was the one who wanted to celebrate this day for them, unlikely her siblings, who don't show much interest. She was determined to make it special. She wanted to honor their love and sacrifice which had spent their family life. We decorated the entire room and stairs to fresh mooring, marigold and colorful balloons. The fragrance of the flower filled the air, mingled with the aroma of the freshly baked cake I had picked up earlier. We placed a small Krishna and Radha statue at the center of the table, a symbol of entire love that is resolved with uncle and auntie found. I bought a speaker and we play some of the favorite old Hindi songs, classic Lata Mangeshkar and Kishore Kumar, melodious that brought back memories of their young. Anika had also arranged a slideshow of their old photo on our laptop. As the image flashed across the screen, uncle and auntie, as with tears and a smile growing with their picture. When we called them to cut the cake, the entire colony was there, clapping and cheering. Everyone had come together to celebrate, neighbor, friends, and even the kid from the neighboring house. The room was filled with laughter and warmth, and for a moment it felt like no big one big family. Uncle and auntie cut the cake together, their face glowing and happiness. Auntie, who was usually revealed, couldn't stop smiling. There is the first time anyone has ever done something like this for us, Uncle said, his voice breaking with emotion. Radhika stood behind me, watching her parents. I could see the satisfaction on her face, the pride of knowing she had celebrated a movement they would never forget. As the night went out, people shared story, danced to the music, and enjoy the simple joy of being together. It wasn't a celebration of wedding anniversary. It was a celebration of love, family, and the small joys that make life meaningful. I went up to the terrace to enjoy the cold breeze and the calming moonlight. As I stood there, I heard someone coming up the stairs. Turning around, I saw Anika. Her smile light up the night beautifully. My heart in a, a ways word couldn't describe. Thank you. Without you, this wouldn't have been possible, Anika said softly. I smiled, remained silent, unable to find the right word. Look at that, she said, pointing at the sky. A shooting star plus across. Make a wish, it will definitely come true. She closed her eyes, believely and said, I wish for Vikram to have a happiest year ahead along with my family. You don't have another wish? I asked. No, I don't. Why do you ask? What about your career? She smiled lightly. My parents will take care of that. I smiled again, but this time it was difficult. I felt like I filled with emotion. How lucky I could have been if she had accepted my proposal. Mathura is lucky, she said suddenly. Her voice softened but certain. Why? To have you, she said. I felt a puck in my chest, unsure of how to respond. Nothing like that, I finally managed to say. We fight all the time. After a brief pause, I spoke again. Hey, are you free tomorrow? Yeah, why? I'm planning a small trip to the forest. Are you interested? Yeah, sure. I am a travel enthusiast, I replied. I took my car out at 4 a.m. and reached Anika's house. She was already ready by then, trying her scolens on the porch. So, where are we heading? She asked. When we're somewhere, let me keep it secret, I said with a smile. On the way, I stopped the car at Independence quietly and went into a small shop to buy a jar of coffee. Then we headed toward Kadima. The road was surrounded by a dense forest of both sides, with a thick layer of fog blanketing everywhere. Anika slid open the sunroof and stood up slightly, letting the cold breeze wash over her. Her hair danced with the wind, and her face glowed with happiness. She stretched her arm. This is so awesome, she excitedly said, her voice filled with excitement. Yeah, I said, screaming. It will get even better later. Just take her hair behind her ear with her finger and crack the window open a little more, letting the brush gently flow into the car. Her face returned with a buzz, her smile echoing in my heart, her vibe feeling fresh. She turned on the radio, connected with Bluetooth, and play Diljit song, The Vibe Alone. Lost in the love, lost in the music, we had reached, and was heading toward Gangapur Road, which is completely a muddy stretch since my car is XUV. I felt safe and those bumpy roads. We had almost across 5 kilometers into a dense forest when Anika's face turned pale white. She looked nervous. We reached a point where a vehicle couldn't move an inch further. It was freezing cold. Suddenly, a pack of dogs approached near a frozen of them. Suddenly, as Anika almost bloated, but I made her stay still. I grabbed the stick and continuously moved towards the dog. They broke off and eventually stripped away. I'm feeling nervous. Let's head back, please. This is so scary. Anika, please. No way. We have to reach there. I replied firmly. Alive? She said, her voice trembling. Yes, Anika, just a few more kilometers to go. Kilometer, man, I can't do it anymore. As long as I'm with you, nothing can harm you. We entered a ghat road, big and climbing the hill. The higher we went, the more difficult it became to make it to the top. When we looked back, we realized we had already covered almost 50% of climb. The grass bent with a freeze, and the air sound of animal haunted us. At time, Anika would start to run. At another time, she would cling to me, frozen with fear. Finally, the stumble and rolling down a few times, we reached the hilly top. It was still coldy when we arrived. I pulled out a coffee mug I had bought alone, and we sat on the edge of hill. The view was breathtaking. A dense forest stretched endlessly, blowing us, and the hill sunlight spot peek through the cloud, creating a magical construct. I found my destinated location. At the summit of the hill, surprise upon Fala Hill is surrounded the hills and blanket forest overlook with the sunset landscape right at the edge of the hill. A four-cigarette chair was placed, offering the perfect vantage point to witness the day first light. As the sun began to rise, its golden ray painted the sky in a huge of pink and orange. She escaped from her cup, is standing with her leg across, facing my side. Her eyes met me, and her smile sent shivers down to my spine. Up close, she looked different, always memorizing. I stared into her eyes for a couple of minutes, lost in the movement. Suddenly, she her grain, like, look away, her grains. Hey, look over there, the sunrise, she said, pointing toward the east. As the sun began to rise, she grabbed her phone and hurried to capture a timeless. The golden rays kissing her skin, making it glow, and her beauty left me in a way. My body felt alive in that movement. I fell in love with her movement, and I fell in love with her all over again. थिंक कि कुछ है इसमें बताने लायक। बंदे फिर से आ गए हैं। लेट्स सी व्हाट ड्रामा गोइंग टू क्रिएट। देखते हैं। सो मैंने 5 ही पेजेस पढ़े हैं बिकॉज द चैप्टर इज वेरी वेरी लॉन्ग। सो सेकेंड पार्ट में मिलना। बाय बाय।